Hey everybody, it's Big Papa with Big Papa's Barbecue. Today we're going to be cooking sous vide style. I'm going to do a Cowboy ribeye. Inkbird has come out with their own sous vide. We're going to go through it, give a review on how to use it, show you exactly how to set it up, how to cook with it, and then we're going to show you the great results at the end. Now the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to be seasoning up my Cowboy ribeye. First thing you want to look at, I don't do a lot of trimming on the ribeye, but if you got like a big piece of fat like this, you can come and trim just a little bit of that off. Like I said, I don't do a lot of trimming on my home ribeyes, but when you got that hard fat and that silver skin on the outside like that, it doesn't hurt to come in and trim just a little bit of that off. So that's the first thing you do, is if you've got something like that you need to trim up just a little bit, trim just a little bit more off of that, because that's hard fat. It's not going to render down. It's not going to be something that you're going to want to eat. I love fat's flavor, but that's not going to render down. So once you get finished trimming it up just a little bit, what I start off with is just regular salt, Himalayan salt. I do a layer of that on both sides. I do it pretty thick, pretty heavy layer, because this is a pretty big steak. It'll take on a lot of salt. Salt also actually helps with getting a crust on it at the end when you go to sear it. So, I mean, I go pretty heavy. And once you do that side with the salt, then today I'm going to be using butter and spice rub, the original rub. It gives it a great flavor. It has a lot of different spices in it. It also has powdered butter, and the powdered butter gives it a silky taste, and that good spices in there gives it a great flavor. So I go ahead, pretty good at generous rub. Put a generous amount of rub. You don't have to worry about this. Spice doesn't have a lot of salt in it, so you don't have to worry about overdoing it on the butter and spice once you put the salt on. Once you get the one side done, flip it, do the same thing. You might have heard me tell you this trick before, but I'll tell you again. What I do with the sides, instead of trying to pour the rub, you've got all this extra rub. It's on your board. I just take it and get the sides that way. So you get good coverage. Get a little bit more right there. You get good coverage, and you don't waste any more rub. So now that we've got it all seasoned up, the next step to do the sous vide is to vacuum seal it. So I've got my vacuum sealer bag here. You want to put it in, and it's important to go ahead and season it before you put it in the vacuum sealer, so the seasoning gets in good in the sous vide. Come over to your vacuum sealer. So now you have your vacuum sealed steak. Just getting ready to go into the sous vide. All right, now that we've got the Cowboy ribeye vacuum sealed, we're going to start up the sous vide. And like I said, this is an Inkbird Sous Vide. It's a very good unit. I've used it a couple of times. Show you just a couple of things about it. Actually, I'll share too. Sous vide just is French for under vacuum. So really, all you're doing is cooking the food under vacuum at controlled temperatures in the water. It's got a heating element. This part comes off. You can see the heating element here. It's got a little fan down at the end that circulates the water, and it heats the water up to a precise temperature and cooks your food at precise temperatures under a controlled environment. So I'm going to put this back together real quick. You can take that apart so you can wash it and keep it clean. Also on this, you'll see when you put your unit down in the water, When you put your unit down in the water, it's got the minimum line here and the maximum line. You want to make sure your water is in between those once you put your food in. You don't want it to come up above that once you put your food in, because the water's going to rise a little bit. So make sure you're in between these two. I've got this fancy sous vide cooking tub. It's got a little hole cut out for it. It's got the lid. The good thing about this is you can put it in any pot you want to. If you want to put it like in a bowler or something that you've got, or you don't have to have the lid on it, you can just stick it down in just like that. You don't have to put the lid on it, but I've got it, so I'm going to use it. But you can put it on any bowl or anything like that, put the water in it, vacuum seal your food, and put it in. So we're going to go ahead and get it set up right now. And you can see over here, I'm in between my minimum and maximum. I shouldn't go up over it once I put the steak in. So once you get it set up in your pot, you get your water in there. It's really pretty easy. I'm going to be cooking my Cowboy ribeye to a medium rare. I know medium rare is around 130 to 135 in a steak for the internal temperature, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop it a little bit before that, because once I get it out, I'm going to put it on the grill and I'm going to sear it on either side. So I want it a little bit below. So what we're going to do right now is we're going to set the temperature. All you have to do, there's a button here, you push set. You see the set temperature is blinking. You got your up and down buttons here. I'm at 131. I'm going to stop mine at 127. So once you set the temperature, you hit set again, and you've got your set time. I'm gonna use 2 hours, so I'm just going to show you. You can go up. It goes all the way up to 99 hours, but I'm going to set it at 2 hours. Then I'm going to set the minutes. It's going to say it the same, but you can set it for minutes. Then you go back around. You get that, and if you'll watch right up here, you see it says stop and your red light's on. As soon as you push this button, it reads run, the green light comes on. You got your temperature set at 127. Right now the temperature of the water is 92 degrees. It'll take it just a few minutes to get up to temperature. Once it does get up to temperature, that's the great thing about this. It'll beep at you and let you know it's ready. Another great thing about this unit is it is Bluetooth capable. You can download the app onto your smartphone or Android phone, and you can actually control the Inkbird from your phone. There's a lot of other different gadgets that you can do. It's already got preset. When you go to set it, if you hold the set button down, it's got preset cooking temperatures and cooking times for different meat, for beef and for chicken and for pork and all that kind of good stuff. But like I said, I'm doing it a little bit different. I'm stopping it a little bit early at 127 so that I can have my medium rare steak even after I sear it on the outside, like I'll show you later. We're going to wait for that to get up to temperature, and then we'll come back. We'll just show you how easy it is to cook with the sous vide. All right, you heard the little deep. It just got up to 127 degrees. It gives you a little beep to let you know that it's there. Then once it gets there, it'll start actually counting down. You see it goes up just a little bit over. This is fine. When you take your steak in and you put your steak in, it'll drop the temperature just a little bit. See how it drops the temperature when you put your steak in? And that's all you have to do to cook your steak. You put it in there, you leave it for 2 hours, you come back. Once you come back, I'll show you what we do after that. Okay, right now I've got my charcoal chimney going with my lumberjack lump charcoal. Do this about 20 or 30 minutes before you're done with your sous vide. Go ahead and get your charcoal ready. And I will be back in just a minute to show you the results. All right. We got our coals ready in our chimney. So we'll go ahead and pour these coals in, nice and hot. Let it kind of hang out for about 10 minutes. All right, well, it's been 2 hours in our sous vide. So once it's done, you just pick it up out of the water. Go ahead and cut this off. All right. Here's cut the bag open. Pull your steak out. Once you get your steak out, just want to take it, kind of blot it down a little bit, just dry it off just a little bit. You're not wanting to rub anything off of it, you just want to get some of the water off of it, some of the moisture. Take it, flip it over, do the same thing on this side. And like I said before, about 45 minutes before you're done, go ahead and get your charcoal ready and your charcoal chimney, pour it in, and then give it about 10 minutes to regulate and kind of get exactly where you want it. All we're doing on this is getting a good sear on both sides. You just feel, and you shouldn't be able to leave your hand over it for about 2 seconds, and you know that that's about the right temperature. So you take it, transfer it over, hear the sizzle, that's what you want to hear. We're going to leave it on each side for about 1.5 to 2 minutes. All right, we did it for about 1.5 minutes on each side on the grill to sear it off. Put it in a little aluminum foil tent to let it rest for about 5 to 7 minutes. And now we're going to unwrap it. See what we got. Oh man, look at that. Juicy, juicy, juicy. Got the grill marks on it. And after the sous vide and searing it, you'll see right there exactly 135. Now let's cut this baby open and see what we got. Right here on that spinalis. Man. Got that beautiful medium rare, warm red center. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. I want to show you something with the sous vide. I'm going to take a bite of this. Very tender, very juicy. You can taste that butter and spice, a little bit of salt in it, perfect flavor, perfect tenderness, perfect doneness. I suggest if you don't have an Inkbird Sous Vide, that you go and get you one. It makes the perfect steak inside and out. Throw it on the grill, do a little reverse sear on it, and I promise you, you'll have your most tender steak that you've ever cooked. Thank you for watching today. Like, share, subscribe, and come back and see me next time. God bless.